Hey yo, what's up guys, your boy Ed from Savij. You already know. Today's video, we're going to be building a true Draco deck mixed with, you already know, the Brave engine. I'm going to take you guys through the process of how I build the deck. How I start off from taking it out of the binder to bringing it into like the actual sleeves and everything. So like we're going to do this process together. There's going to be a lot of theory going into building this deck. For this deck, I don't think that I'm going to be playing any hand traps whatsoever. And the only negates that I'm going to have are going to be like Solemn Judgments and, of course, the Brave engine. Besides that, I should try to go for a lot of like draw power. So we're going to see what we can do. And we're going to go ahead and build this deck. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so getting into the process of actually building the deck, a lot of the stuff that I have that I've been theorizing on building this deck with are actually already in my binders. So I don't really own a lot of stuff anymore. I just kind of own like the cores and stuff that I actually do want to play and stuff that I do want to keep around. Because some of this stuff is like I actually picked it up like on release date maybe, and I just want to keep it. One of the things is that I want to try out the Blue Boy engine. So I want to try out the Spellbook of Knowledges and of course the Spellbook of Secrets with the Blue Boy. So Spellbooks should be a pretty good little engine, 4-card engine that I play in this deck. I feel like this deck doesn't necessarily need a lot of draw power, but the thing is that if you have it and you use it, it's actually going to be working really well for you. I have my deck list over here. So this is what I've kind of with the deck list that I want to run through and have. I'm thinking that I don't want to play more than about maybe 50 cards in this deck. So if I can keep the deck count under 50, I should be chilling. Now we're going to go ahead and get into this binder here. This is the binder where I have my true Draco stuff. This is the binder where I keep my favorite cores. So I have like my true Draco stuff in here, and then just a real quick run through. I have the True Kings, the Invoke stuff, the Dino stuff, which I haven't put back in here, the Zodiac stuff, Dogma stuff, Magnite stuff. I think that's it. And then just extra Dino stuff that I have like that are foreign. So for all of this, what I'm looking at is that I'm looking to play 3 Ignis, 2 Maiden, and then, of course, the 1 Knuckle that we are allowed to play. I wish Knuckles was back. I wish we were able to play more Knuckles. It's kind of sad that we aren't able to play more Knuckles, but it'd be like that. I actually have a foreign Knuckles that I'm going to be throwing in here. I'm not going to be playing this one at all. I have a foreign one. For the people who know me, I love foreign cards. It's just in a pile of cards. I'll get it off in a second. The diagram, of course. I actually have a foreign diagram. I'm going to play my foreign diagram too. I like playing foreign cards. Just me though. It looks like I'm maxing out on the Draco stuff. I am going to pull out everything, but I will probably be making some edits throughout the video. So let's make sure that we know that I'm probably going to be re-editing this. But as I unsleeve this, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video, and I'm going to just let you guys enjoy me unsleeving this stuff and re-sleeving. So looking down at the list that I have right now, it is a little different from how I kind of wanted to have it originally. There's a couple of small changes. So me looking at the list here, originally I wanted to throw Scythe in here. It's already at 51. I think that if I want to Scythe lock and if I want to play Scythe, because I think that personally, if we can play 2 Scythes, set 1 and then just pop it on our opponent's turn with our own True Draco cards, it's kind of free. Now the other thing is that I think that I only own 1 Scythe. Like a lot of the cards that I have that I wanted to play in here, I actually don't have right now, which is the crazy thing. So like I don't have Judgments, and I don't have a second Mystic Mine. So I guess I'm gonna definitely proxy the Judgments, because I want to play the Judgments, because I know that when I pull up to locals, I just ask my sponsor to give me Judgments, and he'll let me borrow the Judgments. But for the other Mystic Mine, I think that would definitely be a thing. So I think this deck is going to actually be bumped up to 60 cards. I think the draw power of this deck is so strong that I can actually play 60 cards and be fine. I'm also going to be playing like blackouts and stuff like that, which actually is going to make the deck a lot better. So being at 51, I'm going to have to get the 9 cards more that I'm missing and throw them in here. I also have like, there can only be two of them. I have 2 that can only be ones, and they're both Korean. So I know Alex has some of those in bulk, so he's going to throw me some in bulk. Thinking about playing maybe 2 strikes, 3 judgments, and whatnot. So let me go ahead and figure that out real quick and then put the deck together, guys, so I can give you a profile real quick. This deck's actually going to be a lot of fire. All right, guys, so I finally got the deck. There's 5 cards that in this deck that I don't own that I'm going to need to get for this deck. For now, we're going to go ahead and fix it on editing. I'll tell you guys when we get there, but we're going to go ahead and start off with, you already know, the big boy Knuckles. Knuckles is actually the best True Draco monster that we have available right now. Knuckles is actually super good because he allows you to activate the True Draco trap cards to the field or add it to your hand. The ability to choose whether you want to add it to your hand or activate it to the field, it's actually kind of nutty. Then you play 2 Maiden. Maiden also has a really good ability that allows you to add any one of the True Draco monsters from your deck to your hand. So you can search up any True Draco monster with her ability, which is super, super good. You see, yep, True Draco monster or True King monster from your deck to your hand, which is really good. I currently want to work on a build for True Draco Sword Soul put together and see how that works out for me. But for the meanwhile, this is where we're at right now. I got 3 Ignis. So 1, 2, 3, because Ignis is actually really, really busted. He allows you to activate the continuous spell cards, True Draco spell cards from the deck to the field. So it's actually really, really good. We're going to go ahead and continue with the 1 Griffin, because we do play the Brave Engine in this deck. You got the 3 Water Girls, you already know, with the 1 Water Boy. So the 3 Water Girls to the 1 boy. I already heard there was more women to the 1 man ratio, which is super crazy. But yes, for Draw Engine, we play the Blue Boy, and we also play 2 Souls and 2 Chaoses, of course. Illusion of Chaos is too good. I think this deck has a lot of potential because it has the ability to just draw so freaking much. Let me go ahead and line that up a little bit. Let me bring that down. There you go. Should be a little better. Let's see. I think we're good there. Cool. But so these are just most of the monsters that will allow you to draw or help you draw and get to where you need to get to. The Mono Iwado, and then the Artifact Sanctum. I don't own another copy of Sanctum, but Sanctum is the first card that you got to play. That is a card that I don't own, that is going to help this deck get to the 60 cards. This is just True Draco Brave draw power deck. It's at 60 cards, and I think that this deck is going to be so good. I'm going to be playing it throughout locals so I can see what I need to change and what I need to do to make this deck better. But so far, we're starting off at 60, and I will be making a smaller deck later for you guys that don't like to play 60 cards, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of playing 60 cards. I want to do a couple of test hands when we're done with this. Hopefully it's not too bricky, but we're going to try our best, and I do want to fix this deck. I know this deck is going to definitely have small room for improvement, of course. We're going to go ahead and continue with the 1 Diagram. Diagram is actually really, really good. I wish the Diagram was back at more than 1. Continuing with Mystic Mine. Mystic Mine is the 2nd card in your deck that you're going to need to play at 2 of, and it's another card that I don't own more of, but I know that my sponsor has all of these with the Terraforming, of course. So these are all the cards you play for the field centers, that field spells, I'm sorry. That's it. We're going to go ahead and continue with the rest. You have your Heritage at 3, of course. You have your Disciples at 3. These are cards that for sure, depending on how testing goes, they're definitely cards that could get cut to 2 of each, or maybe like 3 and 2 or something. We gotta have to figure that out. There's a lot of room here for growth. Brave, you already know the Rite of right at 3, of course. You play the one Faithful at 1, and then you play the Draco back, of course, at 1. Now for your draw engine, you have the Spellbook of Knowledge to the Spellbook of Secrets. So 2 to be able to just activate and then draw whatever. The crazy thing is that Blue Boy, Blue Girl, Souls, they're all spellcasters. So this works really well with that, because you don't even need to normal summon them, use the effect. You can just have the Blue Girl and special summon her, and then be able to just use Secrets to search Knowledge and Knowledge to tribute to draw 2 cards, which is super busted. And then when she's in the graveyard, you can use her effect again and then banish her, of course. You already know. Card of Demise too good. Pot of Desires, these 2 cards being at 1 now, it's kind of sad. It makes me really, really sad, I'm not gonna lie. 3 Dark Rulers, because the thing is that this is a go first deck, but you're gonna have moments where they're gonna make you go second, and your opponents are just gonna be able to have really good boards, because that's what decks nowadays do, boards. And it's just like, I built this deck because I don't like losing to Scythe Lock. And of course, most of the decks that I play don't necessarily lose to Scythe Lock, like of course Adamascipator, Sword Souls does, but Dino doesn't necessarily lose to Scythe Lock. And all of those decks, I still play Cross Out just in case I need to, you know, cross out the Scythe or whatever. And of course, with those decks, I also Scythe Lock people. But the thing is that I don't like losing to Scythe Lock, so I just don't want to get there. Double True King's Return, such a good card, but it's only good enough at 2. I know the card is back at 3. It's definitely not a 3 of. Apocalypse, the best True Draco trap. Monarch's Erupt, the best skill drain in the deck, because this literally just says no to everything except for your monsters. So you don't have to say no to your stuff. You just say no to their stuff. There can only be 1. I know Alex is going to give me the other 2 later. I played 2 Blackouts, 2 Waterfalls, because if you think about it, this is going to be cool, right? So all the True Draco monsters are worms. So you activate this, you target your True Draco monsters, you target 2 of their stuff. Let's say they chain with anything, right? You use the Draco monsters effect. That's awesome. You've gotten value off of your Draco. So even if you just have that, your Draco will go to grave, but you have value off of your Dracos, right? But what if you have this and this? Well, you activate, target yours, target theirs, and in response, no, activate, send yours to the grave, you draw for that, and then you still pop their 2 cards. The thing is that the card has reached the target amount, so because of that reason, you have already filled the fulfillment to be able to just pop the cards, so the card will fulfill as much as it can, which is still going to pop, and you get to draw. How disgusting is that? This deck literally has so much draw in this deck that hopefully it works really well. I just want to see how it works. We're going to do a couple of test hands, and we're not really going to play it. We're just going to go ahead and do quick test hands. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle, and then we're going to do test hands. P.S. The last 3 cards in your deck are 3 Solemn Judgments. My fault. 3 Solemn Judgments are the last things to go in your trap lineup. 3 Solemn Judgments. Now, it is going to be really hard to see what these are going to be in the deck. So what I'm going to try to do is that I'm going to try to find 3 trap cards to replace these as judgments. I'm going to try to get an artifact, Lancia, to replace the Scythe. And then for the last one, which is a Mystic Mine, I'm just trying to get a spell card. Let's do that. All right, so I found the Lancia to replace the Scythe. It's going to be a part of the hands. Ooh, this is actually a field spell. To replace the Mystic Mine. And then I couldn't find a 3rd strike, so Dark Bribe and 2 strikes to be the judgments for now. We're going to see what happens. Let's go ahead and shuffle this deck as best as we can so we don't clump up the cards. All right, if this is a really good hand, we're gonna call it a day with this one, but let's go ahead and see what the deck gives us. Not bad, not bad. Okay, you have the Judgment, you have that there can only be one, you have your token and your Griffin with the Draco back. That on the board, you have that on the board. Token right there. Let's just say that's the token. You have this and this still in hand. That's just off of one card. You can do that for now. What would we want to do? What would we want to do? Huh. Interesting. I would want to do this, but I say we can leave the terraforming for follow-up, or say we want to draw 2 cards. 1, 2. That's actually not bad. It's another Judgment. Okay, it's not bad. All right, guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Make sure you guys stay tuned because I will be updating this deck. This deck does need to be fixed, but it just seems like a fun challenge, honestly. See you guys on the next video.